Real Estate, where you hear from the experts on everything you need to know about selling, buying, and maintaining your current property. My name is Steve Verdelli, and I'm with Lair Realty right here in Wellesley. Today, we are very excited to have William O'Donnell, Registry of Deeds for Norfolk County. Bill, thanks so much for coming on today.
Well, Steve, thank you very much, and thanks to Wellesley Media for doing this.
It's a great organization.
Yes.
You know, after doing some research on Norfolk County Registry of Deeds and being in some other deeds, you are a very, very busy guy. You are doing a lot to not only maintain it, but enhance the registry for all of the users.
Well, thank you. One of the things I wanted to do when I first became registered was to run an efficient organization, but one that had a customer service oriented manner about it. And, when you think about it, the Registry of Deeds is an arm of government many people don't know much about, but it deals with, the deed to your house. When you borrow money, mortgages get recorded. If you want to protect your property, you record homesteads. So for most of us, the biggest asset is our homes, and that's what the Registry of Deeds deals with. So shows like yours, this is great to just let people know a little bit of information about the registry.
So every property, commercial, residential, in Norfolk County goes through your office at some point in time.
Yes, and it's funny, Norfolk County Registry of Deeds has been in Dedham. We're located at 649 High Street. Norfolk County was established, and Wellesley is one of the 28 communities that make up Norfolk County. But the county was established in 1793, and probably the mission is the same as it was back then, just to make sure the records are recorded accurately and efficiently, because people rely on it, especially the real estate economy. It's a big part of Wellesley. It's a big part of the regional economy, and never mind Massachusetts and nationally. So if people can't rely on the real estate records, which in Norfolk County date back to 1793, if they can't rely on these records, attorneys can't certify titles, so houses don't get sold, residential houses don't get sold. There's commercial development that takes place here in Wellesley. The cornerstone of it is to rely on the registry records so that people know they're getting good title to the property.
Good title. These records better be right, or there's going to be a problem here, right?
Well, the records are always right. The legal effect is where the issues are.
So there's 21 districts of counties in Massachusetts, correct?
There's 14 counties, but there's 21 registry districts. So some of the counties have like 3 registries.
Okay.
Norfolk County, we have 1 registry, the 28 communities that make up Norfolk County. And some people, when they do the research, they start saying, well, why do you have listed, Roxbury and South Boston and Dorchester? Well, people don't realize those communities were part of Norfolk County. West Roxbury, Hyde Park, Hyde Park left in 1911 to go be part of Boston. So even when people are doing research in Boston, sometimes they have to come to Norfolk County to look at the records.
So before they broke off from Norfolk County to Suffolk County, so their records would obviously still be in Norfolk County.
They would record. Yeah, so
Who
people
knew?
do.
Who knew? Wow.
Trivia.
Let's talk a little bit about Norfolk County Registry of Deeds. Can you explain how it impacts the people who live in Norfolk County?
Well, first of all, just if you live in a home, the records get recorded there. What we've also tried to do is do a little more outreach with people, because there's a lot of things. My dad bought a house in Norwood in 1960. The homestead's been around for a while. He never put a homestead on his house, never knew about it. So shows like this, we try to tell people, look, if you own a home, there's laws written where you can declare an estate a homestead, which protects your property against a forced sale. Now, if you don't pay Wellesley their taxes, they can take the property by tax title, or if you don't pay the bank, they can foreclose. But there are other instances where your property, it's the biggest asset you have, so you want to make sure you can't have a forced sale. So these are things that we try to get out there. And if they go on our website, as part of our outreach, we have information for first-time home buyers. Every community in Norfolk County has had someone struggling with foreclosure. We've partnered up with 2 nonprofit organizations, Quincy Community Action Program and Neighbor Works of Southern Massachusetts, where they're nonprofit organizations which they give guidance, and they don't charge people sometimes financial literacy, and try to help them, in situations like that. So, but principally, the day-to-day records have impact. For instance, here in Wellesley, someone might get a Board of Appeal decision to put a porch on. They have to go to the registry to record it. Or the Conservation Commission here in Wellesley might put an order of a condition. So a lot of it's more legal, but it's good for people to kind of find out about it.
Now, actually going to the registry, at one point in time, there were books, mountains of books, and you've done a lot to modernize that program with computers.
We're very proud of that. We're still one of the few registries that do it the old-fashioned way. When I first started, we were at book 17,000. We're approaching book 36,000. Wow. But if you go on our website, www.norfolkdeeds.org, all our information is now scanned in. We have over 6 million images that have been scanned into our library. If you went to Book 1, Page 1, the first document from 1793 that was recorded at the Norfolk Registry is available for viewing. And the good news is, and you're a very capable and great real estate broker, when you do a lot of research, the index, well, we're back to 1793. So if you ran my name, Bill O'Donnell, every Bill O'Donnell back to 1793 is now integrated. It would come up on the index. So we're trying to bring the registry records into people's homes and businesses, and a lot of people are doing it for professional reasons, whether they're brokers or title examiners. But a lot of people are taking more interest in their property. And another project we did there is we've transcribed a bunch of documents. From 1793 to 1900, all the documents were handwritten. It was cursive. And now, when you went to Book 1, Page 1, the legal document, which is handwritten, you can view. But you hit another button, the T button for transcription, the typed version of that letter, that document comes up. So now people are doing historical and genealogical research.
Book 1, Page 1.
Yes.
Who's got that house?
Yeah. Well, it was indeed out of Foxborough, but so we encourage people to go online and to look up this information. As a matter of fact, a lot of people try to learn how to do it themselves. So on May 16th, we have a seminar. We open up the registry at 4:30, and we have like a class. And by the end, people are looking up their own information if they want to do that.
Excellent.
And my dad used to climb poles for the Boston Edison for 38 years, and he said, hey, some of us don't know anything about computers, don't kid to know anything about computers. So he's 87. We have a customer service center, so you can call us directly at 781-461-6101, and we have staff that can try to help you out if you want to know do you have a homestead recorded, has my mortgage been discharged, and we do that at office hours. That's the beauty of all this computerization. Wellesley's great about letting us use the town hall, and we have office hours in all 28 communities.
And
where
you've got
you can
computers there as well for people to use.
We bring the computers in. Oh, at the registry themselves.
Registry,
Again, please come by, 649 High Street. We're right across from the Gold Dome Superior Court. We have over 45 computers there, and they're not just for lawyers, title examiners, and engineers.
So
it's open to the public.
Great.
Anyone can do it.
And we'll have the website and the phone numbers and the hours and the event that they're going to host in May on our website and our Facebook page as well for everybody who's looking into that. So people can use the internet as well at home to look this information up?
Yes, and that's part of the class we do. But all this information is just as if you came by the registry. I mentioned you mentioned books. We still print books. People still do it the old-fashioned way and look up the books. But they can do the same thing on the computer. They can use the computer as if it's a library. So you can be doing research at your office, or someone who's, an individual might want to be checking to make sure, hey, was my mortgage discharge recorded? They can do it on their own. Right back to 1793.
You're certainly doing a lot for the registry for Norfolk County. I know that because I've been in the other ones as well, and they're very helpful. But I know Norfolk County is very, very helpful.
Thank you.
I just want to touch base. I know that you recently testified on Beacon Hill and giving greater transparency to consumers with regards to holding their mortgage. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, we call it the assignment bill. There's a House bill and a Senate bill, 880 and 790, and it's the same language. And a lot of times, believe it or not, in Massachusetts, when your mortgages get sold, there's no requirement to record an assignment. And we think it's needed. People don't realize 20% of the land in Norfolk County is registered or land court land. You have to record assignments there. So for the other 80%, why they should do it. And why? Because a lot of times people pay off their mortgage, and then 10 years later or 15 years later, they're selling the house, and now they have to go try to track down their mortgage. And a lot of times they just don't know who they should go to.
Sure.
And we do have on our website, we have a document, where has my bank gone? I'm a big believer in community banking. You go to the local community banks here, they'll give you some good help and service. But some of the banks are big national banks.
Yeah.
So Where Has My Bank Gone has federal and state contact information, and we also have information for the Attorney General's office to help people try to get their mortgage discharges. But if this bill passes, it would just help people know who's holding their mortgage. I mean, the mortgage gets recorded and then gets assigned a number of times. I think people have a right to know about it. So
they get sold so many times.
So that's still going on. We haven't had as much success because there's some of the bigger banks and national institutions are against it. But we've had some successes up at the State House on other issues.
Wonderful.
So hopefully we'll have some success on this one.
I know we touched base a little bit about the Homestead Act. And I think it's very important. Everybody should have a homestead on their property. Let's just touch base a little bit about that. Not getting too legal about it, but what exactly is it?
Okay, the homestead, it's literally a 1 or 2 page document. And people who own their house only for your principal residence, and if you're lucky enough at 18 to be owning it as your principal residence, you can put a homestead on. And when I first started, it was $300,000 worth of protection. It's been increased to $500,000, and the legislators are always looking to maybe increase it.
Good.
Once you record it, it prevents a forced sale of your house. So the best example I give, we all drove here. We might think we have a lot of insurance on our car, $100,000. We hit someone on a crosswalk. It's a $400,000 case. That insurance company is going to turn over the $100,000, but the advocate for the injured party is going to look to you, and one of the biggest assets you have is your home. And what a homestead does is says, look, they can't force the sale of your home. They're still going to chase you, of course, but they can't force the sale. And the house is the biggest asset. You want to be able to stay in your house. So for that reason alone, it's worth getting a homestead. By way of training, I'm a lawyer. I was an assistant district attorney. I was in private practice, and I know attorneys sometimes have bad. People have a bad image sometimes. 10 different attorneys, 10 different opinions. I bet 9.9 out of 10 would say the consumer should take advantage of this and get a homestead recorded.
So if somebody thinks they have a homestead or isn't sure of it, they can go to the Registry of Deeds and look this up.
Yeah, they can look it up. The good news, there's been a change in the statute with this. For the first time in Massachusetts history, there's an automatic homestead, but it's only $125,000. It gets a portion depending on who owns it.
Yep.
For me, for a relatively small filing fee, which is set by the state legislature of $36, I'd rather get the $500,000 worth of protection. If you don't know whether you have a homestead, come by one of our office hours, or call our customer service center, and we can look up and they can look up to see if you have a homestead.
And they can register the homestead right then and there.
Yes, we do it at office hours, and we take it back to record. Or if you come by the registry, we have notaries there, and we can try to help you out. Or check with your attorney if you've done some sophisticated estate planning.
I also know that the registry has taken a lot of steps to prevent, consumer fraud. There's a lot of people out there doing some really, really bad things. What steps have you guys taken to protect people who own their homes from people going and re-registering and?
Well, as I say, an arm of government, many people don't know about the Registry of Deeds, but another proud initiative we were the first registry in Massachusetts to do a consumer notification anti-fraud property program. It works as simple as this. First of all, there's a need to do it. The FBI says that one of the fastest growing white-collar crimes is property fraud and mortgage fraud. Now, I haven't seen it in Norfolk County, but it's been in other parts of the country, and it's only a matter of getting here. What you do is you sign up for an email. I've done it myself. So anytime a document comes through in William O'Donnell's name, I get an email. Sometimes it's William J. O'Donnell, sometimes it's William T. O'Donnell. Well, I'm William Patrick O'Donnell. But I get it's broad-based. I get an email. I look it up. It's not me. I'm good. But there could be a time when I get an email and I'm looking at the document. I'm saying, wait a minute,
that's my house.
That's a deed to my house. Or wait a minute, someone signed a mortgage to my house and borrowed money somehow. I don't know how that can happen. That's not me. Now, it didn't prevent the fraud. I don't want the consumers out there to think we're preventing the fraud. But you can get on it right away.
On this.
And we have links to the law enforcement agencies, not only locally, but the district attorney's office and the state police, that you can jump on it right away and at least limit the scope of damages that you're facing.
Sure. Now, I know May 16th at 4:30, you mentioned you're having a seminar there.
Yes.
What exactly are people going to do? Is this the time for people to come in and see if they have the Homestead Act, or is this just an overall introduction to the registry?
It ends up being sort of both. What happens is people come in and it's open to the public, and we've been doing this now for years, and we still get a great crowd. People come in and they're genuinely interested in how do you do the research, and they learn a little bit about the registry because we some of the information we're we're talking about now about where the books are and the land court versus registered land versus recorded land. But we give some lessons, and people start, everyone gets walked through the lessons, look this up, hey, here's this. Well, by the end, they're looking up their own stuff. They're not qualified to do title searches,
sure.
but the basic. Oh yeah, I can look at my mortgages, or a lot of them get. We have all kinds of plans. They can now look at plans and see. Oh, wait a minute, that's the size of my lot. That's my side yard. That's my rear yard.
Yeah.
Look at there's the 15,000 square foot lot I have, or 33,000 square foot lot.
But you'd always want to check with your town in terms of you were going to do any type of construction with the
the
restrictions.
building inspector. Yeah, all we have are records. Anything to do with building, you have to get sometimes
Sure.
your building inspector. Sometimes you have to go to the Board of Appeal. But
Sure.
so it's a little bit of both at the computer seminar. They get they learn about how to do it, and then they start looking up the information on their own. Like, do they have a homestead, or has my mortgage been discharged? So I know I have clear title.
So we have about another 15 seconds. Most important thing sounds like Homestead Act.
Yes.
Getting that, going to the registry, checking out, making sure that your home is indeed registered under your name, and registering for potential alert on any type of fraud.
I think the consumer notification's big. I think, as you mentioned, the homestead is big, and also we're seeing more and more. People refinance. Hey, I have 3 kids. 2 are out of college, 1's in. You definitely paid it off when you refinanced or did other things growing.
Yep.
But did the discharge get recorded? We're seeing that more and more. Check to make sure your mortgage discharges have been recorded, because you don't want to be chasing that paper around like 2 days before
3 days
closing.
before you're closing. That is a really bad thing to do.
Then you're not going to get your commission.
Make sure that's taken care of.
Yes.
Bill, thank you so much for coming
Steve,
on.
thank
I
you
really
very
appreciate
much.
it. We'd love to have
This
you
is
on
great.
again
I
sometime.
would love to be on. This is great.
Bill O'Donnell, Registry of Deeds for Norfolk County. Bill's office can be reached at 781-461-6116. We'll have all the information on our website. You've been watching Another Home Sold. My name is Steve Verdelli with Lair Realty Partners in Wellesley. You can follow us on Facebook at Another Home Sold, Instagram at Another Home Sold as well. Thanks for watching, and remember, home is one of the nicest words there is.